feeling so good. She was a bit under the weather. We're gonna bring her in pretty soon, and I just felt like we want giving her something special because she's been doing well. She's brought a new audience to my platform here on Haps, and I'm just so grateful for Gabby, y'all. She's back in the building. Gabby, welcome back. She's standing on all 10, y'all, and
Yay!
smiling and is bubbly. Yeah, what's up, Gabs? What's the Haps?
The haps is I'm back. I am present. My kids are healthy. Me and my husband are healthy now. It's all good. Everything's
Okay,
okay.
that's great. Have you been
Yeah.
having people come in ask you is everything okay and why you haven't been uploading and all that?
I haven't had any of that per se, but I have just I've had people be like, "Oh, thank God, I thought something happened."
Mhm.
Like, but other than that, nothing really major.
That's awesome. Well, I'm happy you're back. I'm sure the fan base is happy you're back because a few people asked me, "Where's Gabby?" And I was like, "She's a bit under the weather. We'll get her back soon." Because I'm not about
Okay.
rushing people's recovery. Let them recover. I need you 100% because your health comes before everything. Gabby has to be healthy before Gabby can do anything else, and Gabby has obligations. So I'm just happy I wasn't going to rush it. I was able to fill things in those weeks, and people responded well to them. But I like to get back to form because we just like you too much. Hello, Edward. He's saying welcome from Atlanta. Edward, you're always everywhere, man. Atlanta, California. Edward's everywhere. Hello, Edward. So Gabs, I just felt that it was time to give the women, the moms specifically, a show because these are super being species, the moms, and they've been really holding it down for a very long time in a lot of different spaces and spectrums. And right now, I can only imagine it's tough because it's time to go back to school pretty soon in most places. I think the smaller privatized schools already kind of started back, but the public schools, generally speaking, I believe, goes back about around Labor Day. Is it the same for you in Missouri? Are the kids, or are you keeping them
Um,
home?
their start the school system in our area, it starts on the 23rd.
23rd.
Um, yeah. But my children, well, my oldest, my middle child's kind of working with us, so technically she started a little earlier than a normal kid would, but
Mhm.
we started in July, at the end
Okay.
of July. Um, so like the 26th that week.
Okay.
Um, just because I'm home and she was really into it, and I didn't want to like cause her not to feel like when there's a spark in their soul, you just don't want to crush it. And
Absolutely.
every time I tell her she had to wait, she got like it just started to diminish her fire. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? We'll just go ahead. We'll get
Mhm.
started.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had some curriculum on hand, and we just did that for a little bit until her real stuff came in.
Mhm. That's
But
great that
yeah, she's
you have
enjoying
your
school.
daughter that's ready for school. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I love to
Yeah.
see that she's very, eager to learn and because, it's a stigma that a lot of children want to go to school, especially I would imagine how much harder it is now with the pandemic being kind of that just completely shook the foundation of how schools are structured and everybody's so used to being home. Kids
Yeah.
are already ready to come home after a long day, and they're so accustomed being home with mom and dad or whoever their guardians are. Now they got to go back to the building. That has to be a tough sell for a child. So that's great to see that your daughter's very eager to get back to learning.
Yeah, definitely. It's a struggle for a lot of people just because they got used to a routine.
Mm-hmm.
For the last like 2 years, we've had
Exactly.
a routine,
Yep.
and half the school systems weren't working functionally full upgrade and everything. So it is a struggle, I think, for a lot of moms and dads out there. Like,
Mhm.
you all are super, just being
Absolutely.
able to keep everybody happy, like fed and bills paid. But now you have to make sure that your kids actually learn something,
Mhm.
on top of doing your own job, probably at home, because
Yeah.
most like jobs to the telecom stuff. So
Absolutely.
I
Mhm.
can see that would be really a huge struggle.
Now, for you specifically, um, are you more of a I prefer to work remote from home because I'm able to be here with my children, especially while they're young, or do you like the idea of being able to leave the house part time, and your husband does, the dad thing, and then you can go out and do Gabby, and then come back and be mom? Which one do you prefer?
It just depends on the day.
Okay,
If I'm having a really rough day, I'd rather be gone. Like, I don't want to be here and
right.
being yelled at and being told, "Hey, mom, I need this. Hey, mom, where's my shoes? Hey, mom, like, where
Hey,
did
mom, I
my
love you.
where?" Yeah, that too. I get lots of kisses from my kids, but it's just like there's just times where it just gets super, super overwhelming, and you're just like, "Yeah, I would love to be gone.
Yeah.
I would love to be."
Oh, Gabs, we losing you a bit.
Do I tell? I don't know what's going on.
Could be a
Here,
connection.
let me
Are you
see
on your
if I can.
laptop or the phone?
I'm on the desktop actually this time.
Wow, really? You would think it'd be working just fine with the desktop, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm checking the cords too because my son has been coming into my room and fucking around with things.
Oh man.
You gotta love 2-year-olds and their curiosity.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, and I just turned off my phone internet, so that might help a little bit.
Yeah. I try to usually do the same. Matter of fact, yeah. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off as well. So that's great. Do you ever well, it's school's just kind of starting now. Do you implement the because I think this is beneficial when you have smaller children. Do you have any like if they're doing science or something like that? Do you have any outside activities that they can do? Go out and test the plants or anything that's pretty much outside. Do you implement any?
We like encourage a lot of outside stuff just because I want my kids to have fresh air. I don't want them to keep sucking in filtered air.
Yep.
It doesn't help their bodies function with whatever comes out from the outside world.
Yep.
So they have outside time pretty much every day. Luckily, we have a backyard that's fenced, so I'm not really like stressing over them like running into the street or anything.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they just enjoy being kids. They love playing with rocks, you know, picking leaves off trees.
Mhm.
So it's kind of just one of those things. You just have to have a happy medium for what your kids like. Sometimes kids are a little more introverted and they like to be more indoors, reading books. Have them have some time, maybe to take a book outside, so they can kind of get a good function of outside time as well as their favorite thing to do. Drawing outside or even like remotely trying to just keep them just actively engaged with stuff that they're still comfortable in their box, where there's still like this like level of diversity.
Right.
I think
And
that's very important.
I'm glad you said that because diversity is key, especially when you have children who are
Mhm.
unsatiated at times and also very easily distracted and bored. Diversity is very important
Yes.
in keeping variety in their life, especially when you have a toddler, a 2-year-old toddler. Oh my God, that's a male with a lot of energy. So
Yes.
that has to be tough. And mom just want to sit still for a second. Hey, buddy, I want to sit down and just relax. And oh, mom, yeah. And your little son seems very he likes to be under you. He likes to make sure you're paying attention to him, so to speak. So that has to
Yeah.
be tough. But
Yeah.
you seem
He
to
likes
do
to
it.
be the center of attention. It's
Mhm.
it's definitely in his chart. If I showed you his chart, you'd be like, "Oh my god!" Like,
He's got the
damn.
Leo moon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has a Leo. Let me see. Actually, I'll pull that up.
You got time. In the meantime, I can read some comments. Brother Edwards
Yeah, go right
representing
ahead.
well so far. Blessings to you in abundance. Healing is yours and your family. Likewise, Edward, I hope everything's going well with you, the wife, the family, the grandchildren. Thank you for always being supportive. Parenthood is beautiful. It's been really nice having our children and granddaughter around much more during the last 16 months. Simply amazing. My wife and I enjoyed this time together. That's great. I'm really glad that you're valuing family time at work, because I know how busy you are. You're always on the road and traveling for your business. That seems like it's rapidly growing, so that's great. And I also love how you always speak in superlatives. A lot of explanation points, a lot of great adjectives. I love the way you speak. It's very encouraging
Punctuation
and
is
exciting.
key.
Absolutely, I love that. That's how we know somebody's getting a lot of sunlight. So that's great. And also, I want to encourage anyone here from any other platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, whatever you're broadcasting from. Feel free to light up the comment section with either just comments or questions that you have for Gabby, that you have for me. Well, I can't answer much about motherhood because I'm not a parent, nor am I a mother. So I can't. I'm an uncle, so maybe I can ask some uncle questions. But I've been an uncle since I've been 10 years old, which is
You're
crazy
still
to
a
think
role
about.
model. You're still
I would
a mentor in some way.
Mm-hmm. I would hope so.
So you're still super.
Thank you. Likewise. So if you want to ask me any type of question, it could be silly, not silly. I'll answer it because we encourage participation here. And I've been really enjoying the feedback from Gabby's camp, the Facebook crew. She has a very active Facebook fan base that's always flooding the comments here with on Gabby and I's show with positivity. So I hope everybody's well in transitioning, even if you got the vaccination. I hope everything's good. Keep your spirit high. Try to stay out in the sun as much as possible because I would imagine it's a tough time for a lot of people. School's starting back soon, a lot of uncertainty with the school. If you're with the traditional model of sending your children back to the public school space, you don't know the configurations, you don't know how many people got vaccinated. It's a lot to process. So I want to encourage everybody to be healthy, and we're going to get through all this together. That's why we try to spread this midweek kind of, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm trying to get through the hump. I don't think I can make it. You know what I mean? It's too long, as Dusty Rose would say. So yeah, I'm sorry, Gabby. Did you find the chart there? I was trying to.
Yeah, his moon's a Virgo actually, so he's very
Really? Okay.
particular. Yeah.
Gotcha. And that's the little one.
He's
That's the
picky.
2-year-old, right?
Yeah, the 2-year-old. Yeah.
Don't you have a daughter with a Virgo moon too? The long hair one that's always.
Yes. I do. She comes in here a couple times out of the thing. So.
But that's dynamic because Libras and Virgos are Libras aren't as particular, but they like the refinedness, like Virgos. That's one thing.
We like balance.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Libras
we like a
refined.
good structural balance when it comes to our emotions, especially. Hi, Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea, you up this early? We thought your day started at 8:00. What's up, P? I haven't talked to you in a while. It's nice to hear from you as always. I hope everything's well. We're gonna get back to the charts next week. I just wanted to bring Gabby back in light because I know you. We said we would do that. So next week we'll get back to the charts or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely, we're gonna get Gabby back in, and I want her to get her stuff
going.
What's up? Dad's up in here looking very holographic. I like that photo. That looks cool. This is a good topic. Yes, it is. And feel free to. I don't think you're a mom. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sweet Pea. I don't think you're a mom. I know Des is a mom. She has a beautiful little Peyton. Little Peyton's always on the video with us.
Yes, so Peyton. She's such a beautiful artist.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of her stuff. Peyton's great. I love Peyton. Or whatever. So even as an aunt or a sister or whatever, Sweet Pea, if you want to encourage or send anything. No,
that's what I thought. I thought you were a fur baby mama.
What's a fur baby mama? Is that like a teddy bear?
A pet mom. So she has pets. Yeah, fur baby.
Mm-hmm. There you go. So you can talk about fur mom or being an aunt or aunt, or however you want to say it. You could talk about those type of things. Being a fur mom is challenging. Dogs and cats can be fickle, just like humans. So, do you have any pets?
I have a dog.
A dog. I never hit a dog. He must be very well trained.
No, he's usually just outside.
Gotcha. Okay, that explains everything. Luckily, it's not cold.
Yeah, so like when we're on live, I make sure he goes outside so that he doesn't interfere with anything because he's a whirlwind. He's a Aries. He was born in April.
My family had an Aries dog. We had a Wheaton Terrier named Teddy. He was he'll run and tackle you no matter what you had. Don't wear white because he'll put his paws all over you. You know.
Yep. No, he's a collie. S'mores is. And he is a prince, like a little prissy ass dog. Like he likes getting dirty because he knows he can try to go after whoever he needs to get after. But like the squirrels and birds or our next door neighbor's dogs.
Mhm.
Like he just makes sure as everybody know this is my territory.
Oh,
Fuck off. Like but when the kids come out, he's all like, "Oh, I didn't do anything. I swear, I'm the nicest dog you ever met. I'll be okay." Like he's a wild child, I swear.
Oh,
Bless
wow.
him.
Dude,
Yeah.
how's he with the children? Is he the children really acting with him or jump on his back and all
Oh,
that?
they love him. Like he's more bark than bite. Let's just put it that way. Like he'll bark until the sun don't shine, but at the end of the day, he's just like, "Oh, I'll be a cute little teddy bear. You can love on me, rub my belly." Like I may be big, but I'm still a puppy. God damn it!
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
How old is he?
He is. I think he just turned a year old actually this year.
He's
Yeah.
still a baby.
So
Yeah,
he's still a baby. Yeah.
Mhm.
But he's
How
tall
is
as
he?
fuck.
Oh, is he
I
tall?
wasn't expecting
Oh,
him to
man.
be big. Yeah. He's pretty big.
That's good. That's good. So, Gabby, as far as how do you find the balance between the homeschooling and then also still being a mom where you got to cook because your son he's not school the little one he's not in school yet, right? He's only under you and stuff
He's
like
only
that.
2, so yeah, he
Okay.
doesn't really like. We do things like I read books to him, or we do like games and stuff and songs and little stuff like that. But
You keep him active. That's good.
I try.
Is that a difficult task? You said you try. Is that a very difficult task with him keeping him?
For me, because it takes a lot for me to be like, okay, I'm gonna go do something very random and out of the woodwork, and like they push me out of my comfort zone. Let's put it that way.
You are a Taurus. That's not a very easy task.
No, it isn't. And I have Pisces, so they're all like water people rolling all over me, and I'm just like, okay, I'll move. Like,
Right.
damn. All
Your
right, let's go
husband's
do
a
what you want to do. Yeah, everybody in my house is a Pisces except for my dog. My dog's my fire boy.
Oh man, that has to be fun. You got all the active people around you. That has to be very
Oh,
fun.
it's so annoying.
Well, you just want to be in
There's
Gabby
just
mode?
days I just want to relax. I just
hear
want to just be lazy. I don't really want to do anything. If I do want to do something, it's usually just to clean my fucking house. That's
Oh,
like
man.
the hugest thing.
Mhm.
Because it's always a mess. It's always. Like I could have it clean, pristine for a good 4 hours, and all of a sudden the Hurricane Katrina
Oh
of,
God, yeah.
of craziness. Because my 2-year-old decides that he wants to get something out of the fridge and it rolls all over the floor. Or he decides that ice cream should be his snack and he is demanding it to be possible, and he makes a temper tantrum and it goes everywhere.
Jesus.
Like, my other 2 are just like, we didn't do anything.
Mhm.
Like, we're innocent. Hands up. Like, Mom, we didn't do anything. I swear. It's all him. But no, they helped integrate something in the orchestration of craziness.
Mhm.
But the homeschooling part's pretty easy because we do that part in the morning.
Okay.
I kind of like to get that out of the way. So, like, the scheduling part of everything is we eat, you brush your teeth, you get your clothes on, we start our day. And then usually we start school about maybe 9:45.
Mhm.
And then we get done with it right about lunchtime.
Okay.
And then, like, since she's only 6, like, there's a lot of stuff that it's more of an activity engaging kind of thing. So, like, we read books together for an hour. She finds the sight words because we're starting to learn how to read. So she's doing sight words and stuff like that. Math is one of her favorites right now because she wants to be an engineer.
Nice.
So that's her focus and her gauge and everything. So she just wants to know how things work. And we do documentaries about engineering. Like every other couple days, there'll be a video of something, or dinosaurs, because she's really into dinosaurs. We kind of have it's like a schooling process right now because she's just so young. She has lots of things that she's interested in. And so it's easy for us to kind of just do the core basics and get them out of the way, and then have her just activity wise just do things that she's interested in.
That's great. So as far as you mentioned engineering, I think that, and she's 6 and she's already into engineering documentaries. Holy, I'm scared of her. Is it very complex type?
She just loves to learn. Like
Jesus.
it's the weirdest thing. Like she just loves to see how things work. Like if she could break it apart. Like if I gave her this tower right now, she'd break it apart and try to figure out how to put it all back together.
Oh wow.
Like I guarantee it. If I gave her my computer right now, she'd find a way to break it apart and figure out how to put it back together. That's just how her brain works. She just wants to know.
That's very fascinating. I love that because I love teaching. Because I want my schools eventually. I want to start schools randomly throughout the country in various places. But what's up, Tony?
Hey, Tony.
If do you mind if we have a few guests come up, Gabs? If Dez and
no, I don't mind at all.
Okay, so if look, Gabby just gave us the okay with that. So Dez and Sweet Pea, if you want to come up, feel free. I'm extending the application. Did I say that right? Invitation. I'm sorry, not application. Invitation.
Invitation.
I'm thinking about work for whatever reason, but which I'm dreading going back to this fall because I've been off for almost over a year. So I'm dreading going back to work. But
what work were you doing before?
I'm a law enforcer. I'm a public safety officer.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I do a lot of overnight security at I prefer financial institutions because I get off at the same time every day because people have the bad habit in security of, oh, my kid randomly got sick and I didn't give you enough time now you got to work 16 hours. And I don't see all that overtime because I don't have children. So, the state takes a lot of my money. So I'm like, you owe me a food, by the way. That's how I treat it. Like, if I'm working overtime for you, I want to see that monetarily or food because I love that you're a parent, but I'm sorry that you didn't plan properly. And I understand
that's what we used to do for CQ duty when we were in the military. Me and my husband, you'd either give us like incentive to take your position, like either they'd bring us energy drinks or food for the night, or like some of them even would pay like $20 just for us to like get something in the middle of our shift just to have you delivered or something.
Absolutely. You got to pay. I love parenthood and it's beautiful, but TJ want to go home. TJ barely want to work the 8 hours that he's working. I just do it because as a means to an end. Now TJ wants to do what he's doing now, and that's have his own broadcast thing. What's up, Des?
Hey, Desi.
What's up? Why you look so angry? It's a beautiful day. Did you just wake up?
Me? I'm organizing my kids' clothes. I'm going through all the clothes, so.
Oh, that was me last month. Oh my god. I felt like I was being like Totoed under. It was disastrous.
So is that like a mommy thing or is that a parent thing?
It's a parent thing. Okay. Every parent should do it. You got to go through the clothes, make sure that they fit so they don't look like rag muffins running around like. And if they have like a clothes that they really, really love, you can try to turn it into a shirt or something if it's too small for them to be a dress or something.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with pants. If they're too small, you can make them into shorts, cut the legs off.
Very resourceful. That sounds very, very resourceful.
Yeah.
And a great skill.
Our kids are very lucky because we grew up with hand-me-downs. So
yeah.
Poor.
Yeah, hand-me-downs are great. I love hand-me-downs.
Especially if it's of quality, if it's the stitching's great or it's very hefty, like case in point a winter coat. I love to have my brothers with. Hey, and I'm the second. I was the youngest for 15 years until my dad randomly had my little brother. My little brother's 13. My dad didn't have my little brother until I was 15 years old. I love my little brother to death, and I'm like, thank you. You took the pressure off me of being the youngest child. You know what I mean? But it's just like I was hand-me-down man number one. I was the sixth of 6 children, so I got every hand-me-down you could think of and loved it too.
Yeah, oldest of 8. I got clothes from my cousins.
What's that, Des?
I was the oldest child who got all of my cousins' hand-me-downs, which they were 3 sizes too small, so I had to wear high waters, while my other sisters got to wear brand new clothes. So Yeah.
What are high waters?
High waters, like wading pants, like pants that are up to your ankles.
Oh, like
They're way
floods.
too
Okay, we
short.
call those floods in the hood. Okay. What's up, Peyton?
Yeah, high water.
Hi. Hello, Peyton. Look at you looking like your mom.
Hey,
Hi.
beautiful.
Hi, Peyton. She's looking energized. Where's that beautiful art today? You got art for us today, Peyton? Where's that art? You do? You nodding your head? Where is it? Des, when's Peyton's birthday?
She's a Pisces.
Oh yeah. Oh man, Pisces everywhere. The fish. My best friend is Pisces. I love it. What you got there, Peyton?
Hold it up.
I see all those nice clothes in the closet. Look at that, Des. You are like a hypochondriac organizer. Like that is my room would never look
Stand back.
better.
Nope, stand back.
Look at
All
that.
the
Oh, look at those
bonding.
colors.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Des,
Oh
that's
man,
awesome.
Ooh, they like it.
she's gonna be an artist.
Cool baby.
She's a very beautiful artist.
Yes, she is. Both of my daughters. What you mean by that, Helga? Are they both are
Oh,
they both Pisces or
she
both
calls
artists?
me and
Oh, you and
Desiree her
Des.
daughters.
Gotcha. Okay, I forgot you do that. That's right, Helga.
Oh
Helga,
wow, Peyton.
that's great. Look at that. Got all the
Don't
colors.
put all your art down.
Look at Helga with the shades. Looking cool with the shades. With the glasses. Y'all got that much sun in Amsterdam? I know y'all got a lot of weed. I didn't know y'all had that much sun. I'm joking. Des, you are making me feel bad with how organized you are.
I'm not usually this organized. I have to do laundry. That's why.
I literally got a basket full of laundry I've been staring at for like 2 weeks, and I just can't bring myself to do it. Now, I'm a hangers person. I love hangers because I don't have to iron, and I hate folding stuff. I'm the worst folder ever. You want to fold something, do not bring it to me. I'll give you some hangers, but folding, no, that's not going to happen.
I hate my clothes being folded up. I have to have them all hung up.
Hey, it makes your life so much easier doing that.
It just depends on the item for me personally. If it's a dress, yes, it needs to be hung up. If it's some kind of dressy shirt that you know that you can't like take it to a dry cleaner later, right? Yeah, you're gonna have it up in the hang up area.
Yeah.
But other stuff like regular shirts and pants and stuff that can all get shoved into a drawer.
Yep. I agree. Hey, and I own an iron, so if anything's wrinkled, guess what? It will be ironed. I'm not folding anything. That's way too.
I hate irons.
Ridiculous. You don't like irons? Who's at the center? That's you, Gab.
Yeah, it's me.
Why you don't like irons?
Because I've burnt myself too many times. I hate those things.
It's a traumatic thing. I got you.
They're painful. The only thing they're good for is for like flattening out your fabric when you're doing sewing. That's like the only thing I'll use that thing for. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Were you like stumbling like around the house half asleep? How did you burn yourself on the iron? You were like,
Well, like you get it started, right? And it turns on and it's like you have to find that like happy medium where it's not gonna like make a hole in your clothes.
Right.
And so, like, for the longest time, my mom did half the ironing. I didn't really have to touch it.
Right.
Because she did all these quilting projects. So, like, that kind of made her a pro. And so, like, when I started using it for the military, like, trying to make sure all my shit looked straight, I had turned it on, like, too hot. And then I had to wait for it to turn down, like, cool itself down.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize it was still plugged in and on, and I had touched it just right and burned pretty much like my finger.
Let me do it to you. I'm glad you didn't get popped by grease because your children would have been eating microwave food unless your husband was cooking, right?
Oh no, the grease part. I used to cook for 8 kids and 2 adults, so like that was not that big of a deal. You get used to grease after a while. I love that wig. That was so cool. She was like wearing the poof wig.
Oh, wigs. I'm looking like, what? I thought I didn't hear what you said. You said I love that wig.
Your skirt.
Oh, she's got the George Washington 1700s thing going on. Okay.
I love the sparkly shirt.
Exactly. You like you ready to play Cleopatra of the 1700 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
Des, I read one of your comments here, and it said there's absolutely no boundaries being a stay-at-home mom. What does that mean?
You get
You have
no
no
free
boundaries.
time.
Nope.
No
Nope.
free time. I would
Especially
have.
They come in on you when you pee.
Mhm. Unless you have parents or somebody that helps you, then you get a little bit of free time. Once in a while, my parents will come get her, but there's absolutely no space whatsoever. You hanging them up?
No space at all.
And you said they come in when you pee.
Oh hell
Yep.
yeah.
When you pee, when you're pooping, when you're showering, they have to shower when you're showering. So
They say
Or they have to sit there and have a conversation with you that involves them being a part of your showering experience,
right.
or giving you a song. The kids. We can
I
serve
normally
water.
shower when she's
Shut up.
sleeping now.
Ours
Yeah.
is different. We can serve water. Thank you. My husband's trying to be cute.
I heard. Yeah, it sounds pretty funny over there.
So
Yeah.
it only happens to the moms. That's the thing.
Yes,
With
the
the
dads can
dads-
shower and they're perfectly fine. They
They're
take a
probably.
shit.
I think it's because they're more like you don't look pretty as mom without clothes. I think that's what it comes down to. Women's bodies are just way more interesting to draw than guys. Like guys, we're flat. Of course, we got our little private area, but other women like got the curves, and it's just way more interesting from an artistic standpoint. And this could just be me being a guy, but I just always when I was in art class, I had to draw bodies.
Yeah.
Guys just weren't that interesting to draw to me. It's just women are way more interesting to draw.
I think you guys have more detailed structure like than women. Us, we have lumps and curves. The men have like these detailed, structured, like intricated muscles that you're just like, okay, maybe I could get a little bit extra like puff there.
Maybe if they really define and buff, like if they're like got these complex V curves and six packs, maybe. But if you're just a regular guy that just works at the factory, like okay, whatever. Like I don't go to the gym that much. I'm not too overweight, but like I'm just normal guy and I'm just flat.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll be that interesting to draw. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it depends on their clothes. Like if they're wearing like a really really awesome detail oriented clothing, I guess like.
Just don't wear
Hands
black.
are the worst though. Drawing, I hate drawing hands.
Yeah, hands they always look deceptively larger than what they actually are. So it is very difficult to draw. I agree with you. Very, very difficult to draw. And Dez is modeling here with I can't say that. That guy's a terrible person. With the cool glasses. I was going to mention somebody that's a piece of crap, but I'm not going to say that. I'll give you a clue. He's a Hollywood director, or he used to be. He might. I don't know. He's old as hell now. But
You mean Steven Spielberg?
not Spielberg. Spielberg's not, as far as I know, he's not a horrible.
He wears glasses like that. I think.
I was going to say Woody Allen, but Woody Allen's a piece.
Woody Allen. Oh.
Now Spielberg,
Yeah,
as far as I know, he hasn't done anything crazy. He hasn't done anything crazy. Frida's in the house. The Deuce, what's up? Ann Arbor, Michigan. What's up, Frida? I love Frida. I'm working a lot with her cousin right now. Crazy old Shannon, brother Shannon. He's a nutcase. He was on the Smoke Show yesterday.
Okay, gotcha.
Shout out to Cargo 420 and all the good. If y'all want some good edibles and weed and stuff, they're the place to go. They got good stuff. All true facts. Never a me moment for memories. Frida, I thought you were like 20 years old. You got children? I didn't know you had children because you look 20 in your photo. I didn't know you had children. And Dez is over here being deceptive with her age. I thought Dez was older than me. Not that she looks older, it's just she has a mature energy. I always thought Dez was older than me. And Gabs, I thought Gabs was older than me. Maybe because you said you was in the military. That's probably why. I assume anybody that's out of the military is probably mid-30s.
We age really like quickly in the military, like gray hairs and everything.
You don't look old.
I don't look it because I was like freed from captivity early.
Look at that great unicorn.
You're doing so good, Peyton. Oh my goodness.
She colors better than me. I would have been. Those lines would have been all over the place messing around with me. That's why I like computers, because computers do that for you. I can come up with a great idea, but as far as like those little details, and I was notorious for going out of line. I can solve some math problems, but coloring, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I think that's the greatest thing about being an artistic parent is that you get to teach them all these different mediums and all these different variations of artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
especially being like a holistic mom, teaching her different herbs and different other things, rather than the normal day-to-day basis kind of
Now, when you
thing.
say herbs, you're talking about like cooking herbs, right?
I'm talking
You're
about
not talking about the
everything. Like,
420, are you?
Like foraging, honey. Like going out and forage.
yeah.
No,
Like,
I know what you mean. I was just being a douche. That's all.
Oh, 3
go
daughters.
play.
You're
Oh,
53? No, you are not 53, Freedom. You got a
Go play.
28, a 17, and a 14-year-old, and 5 grandsons. No, you do not.
5-year-old grandson. Oh my goodness. Bless you, Frida.
I never thought you were 53 years old. I want to look like you when I'm 53. I'll probably be crazy and out of space by then, but we'll see. Whatever. But yeah, I was being a jokester. That's a cool shirt you got on. See, people don't understand. Like so many people underestimate, and I don't know if she's got that from there, but I've seen those type of fabrics at the Goodwill. The Goodwill have so many steals if you go at the right time. Like I saw a whole like barely worn leather jacket at the Goodwill, and I'm thinking, you crazy person that brought this leather jacket that I'm probably going to buy. I don't know how much money you got to waste, but I'm about to get this leather jacket. I found so much good quality socks and shirts and all you gotta do is wash it. I mean, that's some of the stuff you find at the Goodwill. Gabs, do you shop at the Goodwill?
Yes, I do.
Really?
I do a lot of thrifting. It's more economically helpful because you're helping with waste. Because there is a lot of more textile waste out there in the universe than we let on.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how unique most of the stuff is when you go on there. Like some of the stuff you can find, like they're made from older brands, but they last longer because it was like during the time where things lasted. Like the new stuff that we have to deal with now, it doesn't last very long. Like you get a hole in it super quick, or vice versa. It's just not great.
Absolutely. It's just everything is about buying brand and names versus the quality of it. I was like, you paid all that money for a Nike jacket that you can barely stretch your arms out comfortably without ripping a hole under your arm. You have to be crazy. Like if I'm going to buy something like that, it is not. I'll buy it at an outlet store or something. I'm not. I'm a very cheap guy. Women would just have to deal with that. I wouldn't call myself cheap. That's the wrong adjective. I'm frugal. Make of that whatever you will. Now, if you for a birthday or Christmas or something, okay, you'll get something nice. Other than that, you got to just deal with me being frugal, or I don't know, go look for another guy or something. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? It's just I don't believe in wasting money. Yeah, her hair. I was gonna say something about that. She got the Maybelline touch. Des got over. She's got the fluffy, floofy hair. Do you put anything in your hair, or is this just genetics? Other than
Me?
shampoo, what do you do to your hair? Yeah. Now
I
the
use
other Des
horseshoe
behind.
shampoo.
What's that, Des? We ain't pick up on it. What's the
I use horse shampoo.
horse shampoo?
Horse
Yeah, like the
shampoo.
horse neigh.
I didn't know they had horse shampoo. I thought
They
horse
do. They sell it.
shampoo, but okay.
It works really well on human
That
hair.
too.
Yeah.
What? How much hair does a horse have? A horse got hair on their
lot.
tail. That's it. What type of hair a horse got?
No, they got hair all over their body.
Oh, the fur. You mean okay? I got you. Yeah,
Well,
that
the
makes.
mane too, but like in the tail. But yeah, their whole body is fur.
That's true. You know what? That's very true. See, I was thinking like with animals, you like call it fur, but all animals don't have fur. That is very true. Now that I thought about it, some of
I
them do
used to
have
own a
hair.
horse.
You're right.
My
Yeah.
mom owns horses now, so yeah.
Where does she live in? Rural Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can see it's quite a few horses down there. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's nothing like a beautiful like horse with like a nice coat. Now that you said that, shampoo will definitely do that. That makes perfect sense. So when you put the shampoo in your hair, you didn't go nay, you didn't turn into a horse.
It depends. Depends which way I rub.
If y'all haven't figured out by now, but I'm an asshole, I am. You're smart with your loop. Frida says, nice. Gabby, what kind? You have very long hair too. What do you put in your hair?
I use Ren Pure.
You know I'm
It's
a
a
guy. You gonna have to
okay.
dumb that down for
It's
me. Okay.
I'll jot it down for you. It's literally just an American shampoo.
Okay. Is it
Um,
specific to your hair type or?
no, it's the keratin and some kind of like other vitamin
Mm-hmm. My
that's
hair.
supposed to help with you.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
Um, yeah, Ren Pure
Temper.
keratin.
Okay, gotcha.
I think I'm spelling keratin wrong, but
Yeah, I'm sure Google will help with that. But
yeah, Google or Siri at this point.
yep.
But yeah, no, that's what I use for my hair personally. If I'm in a rut, I borrow my husband's Head and Shoulders. Because my hair has moments where it produces too much oil
Mhm.
because it's trying to compensate for whatever shindig is going on in my body.
Yep.
And so I go back and forth.
Mhm. I usually try to keep it natural. I usually do like a peppermint or like echinacea. Sometimes I'm very kind of natural with the stuff I use. So I use a lot of peppermint on my hair. My hair. Well, actually, I just went to the barber shop today, so it got trimmed up. But believe it or not, it's stiff in my hair. Look, I have very soft hair. As firm as it is, my hair is very. You can rub your fingers straight through my hair, very very soft. And that's because I changed my shampoo. I had dandruff really badly when I was younger in my teen years, but it was because of the shampoo I was using or whatever. I can't use Head and Shoulders. Head and
Well,
Shoulders.
and water quality too. Like
Yeah, that is very true.
if you have a lot of calcium in your water, um, because most city waters they don't regulate that as much.
You're right.
It can cause your hair to produce dandruff because it's
That's true.
drying out the natural moisturizing
Right.
features in your hair.
And I use Cantu leave-in conditioner too, twice a day. I usually put that on my hair and beard oil. I put a lot of beard oil on too because people's like, "How do you have a beard? You got to take care of it just like everything else. You gotta. It's about what you eat too. Like you eat a lot of heavy bread, like Brazilian nuts and a lot of leafy vitamin A, green leaves and stuff like that. That also helps grow. And you got to massage the blood vessels in your face too. A lot of guys don't massage. You got to massage the blood vessels and stuff like that. Yeah, me and Gabby just went in whole scientific mode here. Who is that in the background with that bra on, Des? Is that you? Or is that like a crush you have or something like that? What's going on
No,
back
that's
there?
me.
That's you? Nice.
I'm
Cool. She's
modeling
over here.
something.
She's out here advertising herself, fellas. She's basically saying she's single.
No,
No, she's
no.
happily spiritually married, guys. Leave it alone.
Gotcha.
I'm married.
Okay.
I'm married to myself, and if I
Hey.
find a girlfriend, I'll
You got-
settle.
Only a girlfriend? Why not a boyfriend?
I just decide I don't want no. I don't want no guy.
No, I don't blame you, honey. I don't
Fair
blame
enough.
you.
Dez is a artist in every form. She's a model. She paints, draws. She's just she's just an artist. I'm seeing a lot of her stuff on Instagram. She's got some good stuff up, and she's advertised that stuff there. She's got a what's that piece behind your head right there?
That giant thing.
That makes me want to just lay down. Like I want to lay down and just chill when I see that. I can't look at that early in the morning. I will be getting nothing done. I like that piece you got to the right there too. That looks like a some type of portal or something like that. That looks cool.
Oh, Merkaba.
What's Ormacaba? What is that?
That's a Merkaba.
A Merkaba, it's a type of star-like looking
Geometric
shape.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's
Cool.
with two triangles that are faced together, and then they spin in the opposite direction, which is the human body. So you got the lower chakras for the lower pyramid, then the higher chakras for the higher pyramid, and then they're spinning in opposite
Nice.
directions.
Is it? Can that be used as an optical illusion?
It depends.
Because I went to they just opened a new museum here in Chicago, and it's an optical illusion museum, and it's awesome. Like I almost ran into some shit that I was like, because I was staring at it so long, I literally almost ran into a couple things, and they had to. It was signs up that said, "Warning, watch where you walk." And I was not paying attention to that. I was so enamored about the art, and I almost ran into a couple things. Whatever. So, yeah, I love that Optical Illusion Museum. Whenever y'all here, y'all got to check it out. It's a great museum. It's really, and they're still developing it, so they'll add stuff as it go along. But it's already awesome. I love it. We have an anonymous Facebook person. I love you, anonymous folk. Love you guys. I hope you're not a pedophile, but thank you. Wow, I bet that's neat. Yeah, it is. It's cool for she's really
Oh,
good at art.
it's Brandy.
I got you. Okay, I was just making sure. Brandy, you Singleton or one of your brothers?
She gonna smack the shit out of you, Miss Brandy.
No, it is Brandy. She's on your live, the live that you
Oh,
see out when you hop in. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Brandy Singleton?
no,
Yeah,
our
well,
Brandy Lester.
Brandy Lester.
Oh, I don't know that Brandy. Okay, anyway, hey, hello, Brandy. I will be okay if you smack me. I was just trying to make sure you weren't R. Kelly or something like that.
Oh my god.
He could be causing problems. I think he's on trial now or something, so he might be.
Oh my goodness.
I'm out of the closet. Or something. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh my.
Yeah, I got a couple screws loose, y'all. If y'all haven't figured that out by now.
No, it's all good. We all mad here sometimes.
No.
So, Dad, is your baby getting ready for school or what? You stick
I
with
am
the homeschool
homeschooling.
forever or until she get a certain age?
I don't know. I don't really like the indoctrination of the children of like how we were indoctrinated with all the history that they put out is fake. They don't even put out the realness of anything. Everything's all changed and shifted for the government's pleasures, and most of the shit that we've learned, we don't use it to what we need. So
That's true,
um,
especially in math. What is a box whisker ever gonna help me with in real life? A box whisker problem. I never understood that stupid ass shit, but yeah, it's just. I agree. I find it really strange, and this is irrespective of race of color. How children can name every piece of crap president that we had. The first 15 were all obviously amazing guys. Um, they can name all of them, but a lot of the children can't. They're afraid of math problems, and I'm looking like that. That is serious indoctrination. What they can repeat the Pledge of Allegiance, but they can't do math. That's really weird to me. I am happy to say every student I've ever taught math knows how to do math. I taught fourth graders how to do pre-algebra, like the foiling, like the x plus seven, close parentheses,
Yeah.
x plus four, that type of crap. I have fourth graders that know how to do that because I break it down to them to the simple stuff. Like I teach them all the rules first, okay? Because the most confusing thing, even to me as an adult, I still don't understand how you can add letters up, but I just completely get that type of logical thinking out of my head and just stick to the rules and the algorithms when I do math. So I'd be like, okay, I don't know why a negative and a positive is a negative, but whatever. I'm just gonna go with the rules. And I think a lot of people just get tripped up with that part. But once I'm able to get them over that, they can learn anything. And also, you have to understand every student. Some students, and if I had to guess, Des was probably like this. Gabby, if you were like this, let me know too. Des was the type, because I know how y'all Sag folks are. Y'all are some smart asses. But she was probably the type of student, especially if you have a Mercury and a Sun in Sagittarius, you're a smart ass. So she was probably the type of student that was, if you lectured to her, she probably was going to keep herself entertained in class, have an outburst, or question how stupid you were. Were you any of those type of things, Des? Or go to sleep? Because Sagittarius
I
are
didn't
very
pay
learn
attention
by
to
hand
class,
people. What's that? Go ahead.
but I was also in special classes, AVID, advanced via individual determination. I can't
Mhm.
believe I remember that, but
We had that in Chicago. We
I
had that.
had straight A's all the way until high school. I had a presidential award all the way until high
Awesome.
school, perfect record. Um, and as soon as I got in high school, and life just flipped shit on me. So
Mhm.
I didn't understand any of the high school stuff. I think I was more into high school for the social life because uh, the stuff that they were teaching me, they didn't do one on one with me like they did in the younger grades, and I didn't understand anything, and I still don't. But um,
It also could have
my
been
mom
because the
was in
education
special
was
ed
social.
too, so it kind of goes down the line in a sort of way like that. Um, but I
Special
also
ed.
have epilepsy, I also had 19 when I was 8 years old. I had 19 spinal taps due to meningitis and encephalitis. I was in intensive care for 2 weeks, and so like my brain, it can't comprehend the logic and reality of some things. So yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow. Did you say you have epilepsy?
hmm
How bad is it? Can you like are you affected by flashing lights and how bad is it?
I think it's like blood sugar kind of thing. They don't know what it's from. We've studied it. They can't figure anything out. I've dumped the doctors to the side because they want to do more stupid tests that have nothing to do with anything. But I have full grand mal seizures when my blood sugar goes below 50.
Really?
Mhm.
That's oh my god, that sounds crazy. Below
Yeah,
50?
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Now, what's up with all the spinal taps? Why you got to get all the spinal taps?
Oh, I had when I was 8 years old, I had 19 of them because they had to take the fluid out from my spine to figure out what was wrong with me.
Okay.
So I don't know. I kind of felt like I was in hell most of the time. I don't remember being alive during that time. I don't remember being alive until I was about 6 years old, 8 years, 6 to 8 years old. So
That sounds insane. That sounds
life is a
absolutely.
blur.
So you might be like a spirit right now. This might not be Des. We're talking to like a telepathic spirit right now. Now let me. Now it's something interesting that I just took from the conversation. You seem just like me, and what I mean by that is you question the like any type of doctor or medical stuff. Because I get into arguments with I was arguing with my barber about this earlier. A healthy debate. I wouldn't call it an argument. We just look at it two different ways. I refuse to get the vaccination. I don't see the. I understand like protecting the other people and all that type of stuff. But if you think that, I'll stay at home. I won't be around people unnecessarily. Now I'm cool. I wear my mask. I'm not an asshole. I'm not the I'm gonna come into your establishment and say I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not that type of dick. I'm gonna wear the mask, get out, go home. Simple. So I question doctors, especially considered I want to be a parent at some point. I'm not one yet, but I want to be a parent. Like, I want to know what you're putting inside of my child. And some adults that I talk to don't seem to comprehend that very good. Or they make me look like I'm the dick because I want to know what's going into A, my body, and then B, most importantly, when I have children, their bodies. Like they make me seem like I'm the dick. Or they look at me like, oh, you're a weird conspiracy theorist or whatever the fuck. And I don't know if Gabby feels the exact same way, but Gabs, how do you feel about like you might have to potentially at some point be pressured to vaccinate your children for them to go to school if you ever send them to school?
Um, I have a like it's a half and half scenario here and how I feel about certain things on that level. It's like the information that I do research on my own, I feel comfortable and confident in what's going inside, and I also have the ability to transmute it. Whatever that stuff is, you have the ability to speak life into death. That's my total like interpretation on some of the stuff that we just can't get out of, but we can have there's a loophole to it. And so like when you're dealing with certain things that have been used for a long period of time and they are effective and there isn't anything in there that would possibly cause a significant amount of harm, then more of like, okay, if that is what my child needs to be protected, yes, I will, but I also take spiritual precautionaries as well. Because I don't want my child to deal with side effects that are not beneficial to their health and safety.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
that's where my brain goes with that kind of stuff. It may not be that way for everybody, but this is just how I work through the trials and tribulations of the world that we live in.
Right.
Now, have all my kids been vaccinated to a certain degree? Yes. Um, but during those times, I did a lot of healing work on my end for them to not have the effects that most children would have.
Right.
Like my 2-year-old, he's actually behind on his vaccinations because of the whole situation with the COVID fund. But it's only because he's already talking at 2, and my other ones didn't start talking like full flippin' sentences until they were 3. So I don't want him to backslide with the last shot that he's supposed to get because they don't do their job right and they give him a shot that's not a part of the list of things that he's supposed to be getting
Right.
for his age bracket.
Mhm.
So currently he is where he is and he's healthy and thriving. All my kids are healthy and thriving. So I would like to keep it that way as long as possible.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't blame you. And I have those disagreements with people like if a child, let's say with like a very unique situation like you just explained to a 2-year-old son, if
Mhm.
he's functioning just fine and you don't think he needs the shot, don't give him the shot. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't have to feel pressure by society or religion or whatever. Like, oh, you damn you because you didn't give him the shot and other children got the shot. Like, if you don't feel like you need it, don't give it to him. You know what I mean? That should
To
be
me,
the
it's
parent
more like
decision.
the energy of who is administrating it. If I
Mhm.
feel that person is in a having a difficult time, then I don't want that person giving my kid a shot because
Absolutely.
whatever they're touching is affected by it.
Right.
No, regardless if people don't realize this, we all live in a frequency lifestyle of energy. Like everything around us has frequency, everything around us has energy, pulses that push things forward. We
Absolutely.
are energy. Our heart is like the biggest organ that shows a lot of energetic messages, especially our brain stems as well. Like our whole brains light up like fucking Christmas trees when put into an MRI or a CAT scan or whatever.
Yeah.
So like you see where all of the energy is stemmed from.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I don't want somebody whose energy is compromised to be touching my child.
Absolutely.
And
I
that just
agree.
comes down to spiritual discernment.
Right. Des, you feel the same way?
I'm 100% no vaxxer. I'm an
Okay.
anti-vaxxer.
What's the
I
reason
feel
for it?
like if you put a vaccine in your body, it stays there and it manifests into a dis-ease or an issue, such as myself with epilepsy. Every time I got the Tdap, my body went into shock and sent me into a grand mal seizure. And I, my parents would tell them the doctors that, but doctors are always like, we can't prove that they were caused by the
Yeah,
vaccines, and
they're
don't
gonna
put
bring that up all
thing on them.
every
And
argument. It's
so,
ridiculous.
um,
Hmm.
to me, I feel like if this is for me and like what I've been through my entire life with vaccines and why I'm anti-vaxxer now, and my journey, and I feel like if you put something into your body that you know is dangerous, there are going to be repercussions and sickness and
I'll be right back.
disease. And so I asked Peyton when she got to this age, I was like, "Do you want to be homeschooled and have shots be put into you? Do you want to go to school and have shots be put into you, or do you want to be homeschooled and no shots?" And she chose no shots and
Absolutely.
homeschool. So I gave my daughter the choice. She has the voice now, and she's so we are the breakers of all this conditioning for our children, and our
Absolutely.
children are the light, that we're bringing into, and so the children should have a say so in what they want for the medical advice. And
Yeah, I
this is one
agree.
of the hardest things because you want to have your free space as an adult, as a parent. You want your free time, but at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're like, well, if I put them into school, they have to have these shots, and then later on in life, they're gonna hate me because they're gonna have all these issues, or they're gonna question what we've been questioning our entire life. They're gonna be the ones out there protesting and doing all this stuff too. But then at the same time, in the back of your mind, you're like, are they gonna hate me because I didn't put them in with that social, um, constructivism that they have in this world? So it's like
Yeah.
it's a either way, you know.
No, I totally agree with what you're doing. That's awesome. Like giving your child a choice because it is their own journey. Honestly, the kid has a say because they came into this world and now they have the ability to choose how they want to walk their path. We are here to kind of guide them through what we've experienced, but that's pretty much the end of our rope as creator children. like we helped them get here, and now if there's something that they don't understand, we can give them a definition or find the definition of what that is, and it's basically homeschooling. Like even if you put your kid into school, hypothetically, like they're only learning a program indoctrination. When you're doing homeschooling, it's what they want to know, what they want to learn. There is core things that help them get through the social standards of the world that we currently reside in. So they have to learn how to read, they have to have math and other stuff like that as well. But at the same time, some of that stuff is only needed for like the like sheer skin level of how to navigate through this world. Now, I agree homeschooling is awesome. I was homeschooled my whole life after 4th grade. Not because of anything like dramatic or anything, but the teachers would tell my mom that I didn't know how to read. And I could read phonetically, I just couldn't read whatever version they were teaching at the school. So, and my other siblings were thriving in school, and me and my brother were failing. So my mom was like, there's no way I can continue allowing this to happen and letting my 2 children that should be able to thrive fail because some person's not doing their job that we pay them for. So she's like, I'll just take up the responsibility. And she homeschooled all 8 of us kids. All 8 of us have been homeschooled. And we all are thriving individuals. We all went to college.
That's like what I wish we had was like a holistic, natural teaching school for kids in a way.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like where all the parents got together to teach different qualities of themselves, and then like each parent learned something else. So like you can send your kid to somebody's house and they can teach them guitar, or
yeah, they call them co-ops.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to with this little journey, because it's like we send our kids to school with not even knowing what they're gonna learn, and then they're gonna bring it home to us, and we have to tell them, oh, that's not true, like, because the teachers are taught by the government, so to be conditioning to the kids. So it's like, you want them to go to school to have that kid interaction, but at the same time, it's just like double-edged sword.
Social interaction can be anywhere. To be completely honest, at a park you can integrate social interaction through going to the grocery store, taking them to the bank, even with the co-ops that you're looking forward to, Desiree. Those are really huge, awesome, amazing things that they can do. They can even go to school sports, like actually go into a public or private school and do the sport programs literally at no cost.
I mean, it's like what Jesus did.
Yeah.
Did you just say Jesus?
Yeah, he went into synagogues and got taught by the highest level of rabbis before he was even 12. In most history layouts, not saying it's 100% accurate, but I do believe he did get a lot of high level knowledge teaching during that time of his life. That's why he was so intelligent and looked at funny.
Yeah,
he knew things that other people would be like, what?
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you just brought up co-ops, because if for whatever reason I decide that my children won't, or I won't have the time to homeschool them, they'll go to a co-op, because that's the only form of an actual like structured, I guess, school system that I actually support. And that's what I want my schools to start off as, more like co-ops, where the parents get to choose what they want their children. Of course, it'll be a base level curriculum that everybody agrees on, but
Mhm.
you get to choose if you want them to learn about a certain religion or this or that. If you don't want them to learn about it, you should have a choice over that. You shouldn't be, oh, you go to this school, so you have to learn that. No, as long as everybody has a uniform mathematics, science, a communication system, everything else should be left up to the parent and the path that the child wants to go on at that point. That's how an education system should be structured. You shouldn't have to be forced to take algebra if you want to be a cook. How is that applicable to what you're doing? You know what I mean? Or if you want to study music or be a musician, or you want to be a barber, or study cosmetology or whatever, you shouldn't have to be forced to be bored to death. By the time you're in, I would say, eighth, ninth grade, you should have like a track on what you want to do for your career. Okay, I need to do this in year 10 or year 11, or you know what I mean? Like, it should be structured to what the child wants to do. How in the world is it children that want to be bankers, or they want to be investors, and they want to trade, and they don't have those programs in their school system? Why do you have to go to a private school to know how to invest or have an edge up on the economy and stuff like that? They don't teach you true economics in a public school. I'm a product of public school, so I know they don't teach you that. I didn't start learning true economics until I graduated from college and started learning on my
Well, we
own.
weren't also taught about basic human survival instincts either. We were just basically thrown out at the age between 16 to 18 years old and said,
Mhm.
go to college right after.
Right. You might
Know
be
what
in
you
debt,
want.
but go anyway.
Yeah. We weren't taught about herbs and foraging for certain things out there.
Hmm.
Like, okay, so like being a witch or like a warlock or like all that stuff was like really frowned upon, and we were told we weren't allowed to do that. We grew up on like really radical Christianity or Catholicism, and like but it's like our time now to be able to teach the kids the basic instincts after school or
Hmm.
even during school. Like what if something happened and like you're not gonna have a computer to teach you these things. So I think
And
if parents got together like with that co-op, I think that'd be pretty awesome, or at least you
and
know.
another thing that needs to be taught to add, because you just made great points, Des. Tolerism need to be taught. It wouldn't be as nearly as many school shootings if it was a lot more tolerance taught to students across the board. Forget about color, forget about gender and all this crap. They should be taught tolerance. Boys should be taught how to respect girls, and vice versa. All these school shootings and all this stuff is based out of your ideology got out of control, and you acted on that, and you killed people that you didn't even have a conversation with, likely. This stuff needs to be taught at an early age, how to be tolerable of other people. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. One thing I'm not going to teach, and I'm gonna leave this up to the parents. I'm almost totally against the teaching it until they're probably about 13 years old, and that's like sexual preference. That shouldn't even be talked about until they get mature enough to discuss something like that. 13, we can start talking about like the health, and maybe with girls you can teach them a little earlier, because girls' body develop earlier than boys with the menstruals and all this. Maybe, but leave that up to the parent. That should not be enforced by the school system. That's just me. Maybe people disagree with that, but I think they start teaching children about sex way too soon. 8, 7, 9 years old. That's too. That's way too soon. What do you think, Gabby?
Who?
Gabs, you.
Oh, me. um. Well, I think that if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Pretty much, basically. Like if it's not focused on, then it's not really a big issue until it becomes like the whole circumference of reality in social standings. So like with sensuality, personally, it becomes the end all be all, and you have to know exactly what you are to fit into a peg, or
Mm-hmm.
like a square hole and you're a peg in a square hole.
Mm-hmm.
Like that particular standpoint is in my head is just like, but if it wasn't the full focus point, then nobody would really make a big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm. I
Um,
agree.
that's just from experience here on this planet in this incarnation, I didn't really know anything about like sex until I was like 17.
Mm-hmm. Same for me.
And even being homeschooled, it wasn't the focal point of our teaching. So like we learned school stuff. Like any of that extra stuff we found out through books and from our peers because they were into certain things that my parents said, no, that's not a part of what we teach you. And so like I didn't really get to see what that was to give you a very clear depiction on what that would have been for a normal person.
Like
life experience. Like they say like, oh, you know, the whole birds and the bees bullshit,
Yeah.
like that whole scenario, like they brought that up very, very vaguely. Like when a mommy and a daddy like have their little moment with each other, there's a baby. Like that's pretty much like the layout of the land.
Mm-hmm.
But they never really like explained, like, except for the fact just don't have sex until you get married.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That was like the only like stipulation in our world was just don't have sex until you get married. So it wasn't like a huge like I could be friends with boys and not I didn't see them as a sexual object because that wasn't the focal point of my school or my lifestyle at that time with my family. And I would look at everybody as a brother or a sister because that's just how my brain worked. With people around me, I looked at them and respected them like I would my own sibling.
And I think that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Like if you have feelings that are deeper than that, then there is usually a very logical explanation on what that is. And once you get further down the rabbit hole on that level, then it's a totally different reason behind what we know as now as like lust or other things. You don't look at somebody that way or treat somebody like that way because of just your normal typical reasons. There's deeper reasons behind the reasons why we treat certain people the way we do. And it's usually because something inside us needs a little bit more TLC, or something about that person reminds us of something that we need to heal.
Right. That's actually very true. It's something I've experienced as I've evolved over life. Like, and that's why I can be a friends with a woman and not want to have sex with her. Like, it's just like I don't view everybody that way. I view some people as, business equals or scholarly equals or whatever. Like, I don't like my friends be like, "Oh, you was around her, you want to have sex with her." I don't view every woman like that. You know what I mean? I've even was upfront about when the relationship was like, we can't be friends because I want to have sex with you. I've told people that before. Like when they make it clear I just want to be friends, I respect that. Like I'll tell them like I can't only can spend a certain amount of time around you and all that. Now I'm evolved. That was like when I was in my mid-20s. Now that I'm 30, I've evolved past that point where now I look at that differently. You know what I mean? So every guy is just different. Some guys are gonna be weird for it. Other guys that are either on the same spectrum or beyond where I'm at, they get it. So I just think it's something that just needs to be reinforced and constantly taught and stuff like that. That's all. But I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, but I agree with you though on the sense of like it being something down the road for them to be more in tune with. But at the same time, I do think that they should learn masculine and feminine energy.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that is something that is a huge reason why we have a lot of imbalancements and people doing stupid shit.
Be careful, Gabby.
I know. This is my opinion. Okay, this is my fucking opinion.
I love
you. Your own fucking opinion in your own worlds. I'm not discriminating you. People, trust me, this is literally just how my brain operates when it comes to all the stuff that I've experienced that I have been able to incorporate in my own life after dealing with a bunch of fucking healing and a bag of chips. Okay? Like literally that's just how this process pops out of my head sometimes. Now what I mean by all that is when you get through certain like elevations of your life where you see something, you process it, and then instantly it becomes your core value, because that's what you know to be true. That's what happened with that situation, so that's going to be what's going to happen if you do something. That illusionary concept doesn't always mean that's going to happen every single time you walk out the door. So like there's bits and pieces like that if you had the basis, the core value.
My father opened it up. This is not what you do. If you have sex, you're going to get STDs and die. So I stayed a virgin until I was 18 years old. And my 18th birthday, yeah. And but the thing is, my whole entire life, from birth, I was being fondled by my own father.
Oh my God.
So, and he blamed it on my uncle, and my uncle was put in jail and harassed by the cops because of it. So,
it's absolutely terrible.
It depends on what the family background is teaching your child about sex ed, reproductive energy, and all that stuff too. Because if there is a sexual relationship going on, molestation, rape, you know, all that stuff, that child is going to have a hard time with that the rest of their life, with relationships, until they can be able to understand how they're able to evolve from all that. So, and I'm one of those children, and so is my other sister. My sister was also fondled by our father her whole life. She came out when and told everybody when she was 14, and everybody laughed, and I stayed quiet because I was afraid. And I came out almost 3 years ago. So those people aren't allowed back in our family. I haven't talked to them, nor will I ever. But because my little one matters more. And,
Right.
it just, the sexual reproductive stuff, it just depends on what you went through your entire life and what you feel like your child's appropriate age would be. Every single parent is different with that. So, I think the more time you spend with your kid, you keep them more innocent, the less you have to um, really think about them having sex and being sexual with someone else.
Right. Now, but you don't seem, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't seem, Des, like you're overly, like you seem like you kind of, the little glimpses I've seen you with Peyton, it seemed like you let her like do her thing. Like you're not as overly controlling with her. Is that true? Like, or are you, when it comes to like when she's around males or something like that?
Well, when she's around males, she's around me a lot more. Unless it's grandpa, she's around him a lot because she can trust him. But yeah, she's a Pisces, so I have to let her do her thing, and I don't want to be overly controlling like my father was, because he was overly controlling to the point to where it was smothering, and I don't know, we were sheltered, and I guess I'm sheltering her to an extent with all this stuff that's going on in our life, but I'm teaching her other different obstacles around all that.
You're helping her find the loopholes, honey. Like that's not a bad thing.
And considering she's 6, I mean, that's not irrational to, you know what I mean, care for or watch her. I mean, she's 6, so it's just I was wondering based off the story that you said, and I'm glad like you seem like you're handling the misfortune that happened to you in a very healthy way, spiritually or whatever you say. I mean, you don't seem like a raging psycho or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Not that there'd be nothing wrong with anybody lashing out if they were sexually assaulted. Like I'm totally understanding when somebody handles their emotions that way. I hope you will heal in time at your own pace that's appropriate for you. But at the same time, like I'm not one of those people that look at people crazy, like when they like lash out when something bad happens to them. Hello, Peyton. She must have heard her name. We're talking about how great your art was. She's got it. Dez, are you grooming her to be a model? She's got that. She must spin around you a lot because she smiles. She knows how to pose a certain way. Are you getting that ready to be a photographer or something like that?
No.
Mm.
Not until she gets older and she decides she wants to. But there's a lot of creeps out there that looks for child photography. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there are a lot of weirdos.
Jesus Christ. Yes,
But
just
I
please God.
hide my psychoness. I put a big face on for people to know. So
Don't
I
tell us
have my
that.
mom phase, and then I have my psycho phase.
Psycho
Crazy
as
ass bitch
in
face.
I'm writing a fictional movie? Like what do you mean psycho? I hope that's what you mean.
Okay.
Like it's more of like a mama bear. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm gonna rip you to shreds.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
but she
That's
does it in a very loving way, so loving that you don't even see the claws coming.
now is this to other people?
She's classic Des. She's
In my
unapologetic.
mind,
She's amazing.
I'm self-destructive to my own self,
Don't
but
be.
people don't notice that.
I
You
don't want
know,
you to be.
because when you go through things like that, you and then other things, it's just like
Yeah.
it's self-destructive to your own self. But you don't want other people to uh you, you don't want to okay, get off me. You don't want to project it on other people, but deep in your mind, uh, it's a battle between light and dark a lot. But you have to integrate those two energies a lot and be able to transform what you went through your entire life. And it's not like a victim thing. It's more of a survivor mode, but it's like um being a child of abuse and all that stuff is like you don't want your child to see
Mhm.
what you went through until they get older, until you can tell them the stories of what you went through and why you don't talk to certain people. And like for when she gets older, I'm not going to tell her the story about her dad until she gets 13, 14, because it's just
Right.
destructive and it will tear her apart. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mhm.
um in your own mind, being a mom, having that mom face is, hiding all that emotion and all that pain. Sometimes you have to hide it from your kids and other people because people really don't know the psychotic things, the things that you're telling yourself in your own brain. So
Yeah.
There's a fine line of giving out everything that you're thinking about, and then there's the things you know that they need to hear.
Right.
Like you can hold that in for so long, and when you finally speak up, it's like, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you say this was happening? Blah 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 blah. And it's definitely a very hard road to walk on.
Mhm.
I dealt with abuse after, so I dealt with the SA stuff after leaving my parents' home
Mhm.
because I didn't know there were like people like that out there that only wanted me for one thing and one thing only. I thought they genuinely wanted to have a relationship. And when you separate work from your personal life and the work person doesn't appreciate that, and they decide to do certain things to you, and you trust them because they're supposed to be a leader, that part really makes you question a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Like,
You know
I don't
what?
want my family to deal with that, or deal with a teacher doing something stupid like that.
Mhm.
Like, I've seen it happen in the military with teachers that are supposed to be teaching other younger trainees. It's not great. It's totally irresponsible, and they have the choice to choose not to do those things, and they did it.
Mhm.
It's rough.
It is. And you know what? I think that's another thing. And you'll always hear me. My base point with overcoming any type of issues, societal ills or whatever we have, always centers back to education. I just think everybody just need to be educated better. A lot of it, everybody's been educated the wrong way in their particular culture or their particular way, and now they take all of that out into society around other people that's been taught, A, I probably don't like this person, and B, they clash with my ideology, and this is what I've been taught to do to people that clash with my ideology. I think we just need to create a space where um, people can feel say women like because I didn't even realize I was ignorant at one point. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I wasn't. I was ignorant to like, oh, women could be. I had this idea that women could try to they're devious with well, oh, she could be just saying he sexually assaulted her to just to be petty or just to because people believe her because she's a woman. As you get older, you realize that that's and not only older, it's just involving spiritually like I because I'm sure there's people still my age that think like that. That's older than me that think like that. It's just I made a choice not to think like that anymore. You know what I mean? It's just so I think a space, and you'll hear me argue with people on my show, my guest hosts. They firmly believe, and I'm not gonna name them. They know who they are. That certain women put themselves in situations to be sexually assaulted. I just don't believe that. Some people, some men do. I just don't. I don't believe that. You know what I mean? Because I believe, hey, men are way stronger than women and they can impose their will on women a lot. It's not too many women that have military experience like Gabby that probably can defend herself. You know what I mean? And then there's still a
Oh,
guy
I
that's
can't defend myself now. I'm weak as fuck right now. Like, if my kids needed me to like save them, I would be able to save them because that's called adrenaline, and that's my child.
right.
But like me and my husband play fight all the time. I can barely lift him off of me if I like. I'm not even joking at this point. Like, he's heavy.
Is your husband over 6 feet tall?
He's 5'12" or 5'11" ish. 5'11". I won't say 5'12".
5'12". He is 6 feet.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. No, he's like between 5'10" and 5'11", depending on how straight his back is. But yeah, he's pretty tall for his weight. I want to say he's like in between like 240.
Okay.
Ish, and I'm like a little bit under him, and I'm only 5'6". So
I have a hard time believing you can't. I wouldn't take you lightly. I'll just say that, Gabby. I'm pretty sure you can give a lot of people a run for their money in a fight.
I would find a way, an avenue to try to save myself if I had to, but like the scenario hasn't been there long enough for me to actually have to actively like, I'm going to clobber you.
Yeah.
You know, like there's just some of that stuff that just doesn't really. It's not. I'm not actively in fear or surviving for my life. So I don't actively have those skills on hand immediately. But if I had to save my child or save my husband, I have some skills still in memory or like in like muscle memory that I can somewhat protect my offspring or my husband if something does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that it's actively on charge.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, when you got to pull that trick out, hey, by all means. I know women that's dead size that are like killers with weapons, like with guns and knives. You know what I mean? Like I never go into any type of situation underestimating anybody because I've seen women are 120 pounds, 5'9", 5'6", 5. That's dangerous. That you don't want to trifle around with in their type of upbringing, like kind of molded them into like being able to defend themselves and whatever. You grew up in a dangerous inner city area and you got predators out there. Women just learn to defend themselves. I have a couple female friends that are shorter than me, lighter than me. I'm 210ish, 215. I'm 5'8" or whatever, but I'm kind of slender and muscular. But any of my females know that I'll defend them at any cost. Like now, I don't want you putting me in danger. Like you started it and then you call me. I'm able to discern the difference. I'm gonna ask you what happened before I come out there guns blazing. Okay, what happened? Da, 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 da. I'm gonna try to get some. Unless it sounds like from like you're crying or you were like in desperate need of help, then I'm gonna make my way to you. Other than that, if it's like, oh, I slapped him and he hit me or something, like, okay, you need to call the cops. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah,
I'm
there's
not
like
gonna get
nothing I
hurt.
personally can do when I go over there to save your ass unless like you're in a space where you literally there's no other option.
Mm-hmm.
Like 911 is not an option. He broke my phone and I'm
Right.
borrowing a friend's phone right now. You could still try to call 911, but is it really are they going to get there in time?
Right. I'm gonna be
Like
like, okay,
there's
you need
little
to leave
bits
this
like
guy.
that.
Mhm. If this guy's abusing you like that, you don't need to be with him. You know what I mean? Like go to friends close by or something. Like you don't need to be in that situation. You know what I mean? Like when the minute you get hit once, that's a good time to leave. You know what I mean? Like don't ever give a guy a second chance to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like if he hits you, it's something missing up there. It's a couple screws
And
loose.
vice versa for men
Yeah.
as well. If you're dealing with an abusive woman or an abusive male partner, you take discernment, use wisdom. Like red flags are blazing, your alarms are beeping off, and you notice this is not okay. Like take some time and just and pack your bags and leave.
Absolutely.
Like if you're not married to them, you don't have any contract with that person, get the fuck out.
Absolutely.
Like there's no need for you to put any more energy into that relationship than has already been in there. Obviously they don't respect your energy and you don't and vice versa at the end of the day because they're not respecting you. If you can't respect yourself, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody.
Mm-hmm. You got to be able to respect yourself first before you can have a union. With and chances are, if you're having a lot of arguments with your spouse, y'all probably shouldn't be with each other at that moment. If it's a lot of conflict every 5 seconds, or y'all can never get along or agree or be around each other more than 5 seconds without wanting to fight, that's just not y'all probably not good for each other at that moment. That don't mean it won't come a time down the line where y'all come back together if that's what is meant to happen, or if that's what y'all want to happen. But it's just that's a clear sign when I see people arguing all the time. Or my friends ask me about, oh, we always argue with each other. I just tell them, I advise them, hey, it's your choice at the end of the day. I would just advise that you take a break. That's what I would do. Because you shouldn't, you coming home to your significant other, if y'all live together, because I'm big on people living together before they get married. I know that's taboo in the Christian. I get it. I know the shacking up and all that. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion, because I honestly don't think you know a person until you live with them. I'm not saying be crazy, a teen and do some teen stuff and move in when you've been talking to them for a week. Not nothing like that. But if you've been dating somebody for like 2 years, it's a good chance that you kind of know what makes them tick and stuff, especially if y'all date a lot and go out and spend a lot of time. Like, how much more do you really need to know about the person? That will probably be better if you live with them and figured it out. Like, because so many people like, oh, we moved in after we got married. Then you all these bad habits start to manifest, and now they're triggering your stress points. Now you make a rash decision. You get divorced. You know how expensive a divorce is, especially if you have children. Like that's not only stressful, it's extremely expensive. Where if you would have figured this out, like, okay, we were dating, we kind of together, even if you're engaged, like maybe we shouldn't get married right now. Let's keep our distance. You don't figure that out until you move with a person. Like everybody got different things that make them tick. Like for example, this is just hypothetical. Gabby might dislike her husband leaving the cap off the toothpaste. That can set her off. I know people that really set them off. Like, oh, or you gonna hang the towel up on the
If
damn
I
thing.
left him for that, that would be like the creme de la creme. No, the only thing I'm irritated right now with my husband at this moment, guys, just FYI, is the fact that he leaves his soda cans like a fucking college student all over our fucking bedroom.
No, I leave it on my desk.
And on his desk. And I'm
my
afraid
desk.
bugs are going to assume, and they have a couple times.
No, they have not.
Yes, they have. We have this really
That's why I
awesome bay
can't live
window,
with
and
anybody. That's why I can't be in a relationship with anybody, because I'm OCD about my own self
You know what?
and my kid. So
I'm making a point.
even when I do laundry and I hang my laundry up, it's all color coded. with long sleeve shirts and dresses with different,
You
you
definitely
know,
are
like
OCD.
I'm a freak. And if I see piss on the toilet, I freak out. Yeah, I'm that type.
Yeah, you probably do need to date a woman then, because women don't put piss on the toilet seats that I know of, at least. You know what I mean? But
Unless they don't wipe.
if they don't
Yeah, like
wipe,
it has to do with communication though, too, at the end of the day though. Like the triggers that you are experiencing, they usually come from something that stems deeper than just like the skin level of the
right?
situation.
It's a build.
It won't even be them. It could be you.
Right.
My
Right.
triggers is someone being in my house.
That's right. And
Well,
and
you like your
everybody,
babe. It's okay.
some people also, Des, value their personal independence even well into marriage. They're just wired that way. You could be a person that's still like, I love this person, but I need to be away from them twice a week. Some people are just like that. Like you can't. They just need more freedom than other people. Like you, everybody, your difference of freedom is different than mine. Mine is different than Gabby's. Gabby's is different than both of ours. Everybody have a different level of needs that they need more than others. Like I like to spend a lot of time with my with people I date. That's why I tend to be in longer relationships, and I'm very fair. I'm out front with that. If you're the type of person that likes too much space, I am not the person to date. Now I'm not in the smothering, clingy type because I like my own damn space. But I'm saying like, if you one of those people, I ain't talked to you all day, and when I call you just to do a check in, hey, how you doing? You need something? I'm at the store, and you got an attitude like, what your ass want? We shouldn't be dating each other. Because if it's been a whole 12 hours and I haven't heard from you, that means you just need to be single. That's what the hell that means. You know what I mean? Like you just some people I figured it out, and it's something you learn as you age. Some people just value their freedom over everything else. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm letting your ass know you're not gonna date me. You give me that type of reaction, guess what? You gonna come home, ain't shit gonna be cooked. Get your ass a bologna sandwich and have a good night. That's what's gonna happen. Or whatever.
Ew,
Because I'm gonna take good care of you. It's gonna be food cooked and you're gonna feel loved. Some women don't like to be loved as much as other women do. That's something I've just figured out.
But this
Some
is the
women
joy of you being a Cancer, though, too, though. If when it comes to your family, the people that you put your time into, the people that you're going to protect for the rest of your life,
Yep. And also,
that's
yeah,
why they get the special king and queen treatment. They're going to get it as soon as they walk in the door because you respect yourself like that as well.
absolutely. And also, Gabs, my Venus and Mars is in Leo, so that tell you everything.
Yeah, but no, even at the end of the day, all of that jazz, it lingers down to the fact that you are a family person.
Yes, that's a non-negotiable with me. Like if you don't like family or spending time together, go. Hey, no hard feelings. We could just be friends. You know what I mean? We still can be cool. I reach out to you from time to time, but that is a non-negotiable. We must spend time with each other. You know what I mean? And hey, I'm flexible. Spending time might be okay. I want you to go to this. I totally didn't want to go because I'm kind of a comfort person like you, Gabby. Sometimes I just want to chill. If you one of them people that always got to be out of the house, I will not date you. I'm just not. I'm not like that. I want to chill and sit at home. Like being out is very stressful for me because I'm very, very. I'm a pretty. My moon's in Aquarius, so I like to be active. My mind to be active at all time. I can't stand on wasted motion or not something, especially when I perceive it like, okay, let's take the grocery store. The grocery store is always a great analogy with this. If I see that you're moving extremely slow for no reason and I'm ready to leave, I'm gonna probably come help you bag stuff. Cause I'm like, okay, I'm just ready to leave. You moving slow because you want to. That type of stuff aggravate me. And then cause like I gotta go, I gotta leave, I gotta walk through people. You know, it might be somebody else at the door begging. It's just going out is very stressful to me. Like, so I gotta build up a lot of energy to do it to begin with. And then when I go out with somebody that's just restless, it really bothers me. Because I'm easily stressed by unnecessary stuff. Like stuff that I seek that could have been avoided. That stressed me out. So that's why, like, sometimes I need to sit in the house like a whole day, maybe two, just to recharge from unnecessary stress or whatever. I'm very like I try to avoid unnecessary stress like the plague. Some people, and I've dated a couple of them, voluntarily walk into stress and then get mad when I try to explain to them, don't get me in no bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just like, so it's just, you have to be very aware of this type of stuff with people. And if something I've accepted, I'm very out front. So I feel like if I was out front about it, and then when you do it and I get mad at you, you shouldn't be mad because I told you out front. I mean, maybe that's not a fair way to think, but that's how I think. If I
No,
told you
you're
not to put me in
honest.
this situation and you do it, you're gonna upset me because I feel like I gave you the courtesy by telling you up front. Is that fair, Gabs?
I think it's fair. That you're being honest. Like if you're not gonna be honest about how you feel about the situation, the communication level has already been cut off by like 9,000.
Yep.
Like there's no reason for us to have a conversation if you're going to be dishonest. Like I will smell the bullshit a mile away. Okay, bye. Like
Thank you, Christina, for the subscribe. James, I would imagine that you are a pain in the ass to your wife. I could just tell you,
I
James.
think he makes her laugh.
Yes, I would imagine he probably makes
He
you laugh.
makes her life happier.
If
No,
you
I
don't,
honestly, straight up, that's just his personality, though.
yeah,
Like,
I love James. That's why me and him can prod each other, and it's not personal. Me, him, and Tony prod each other, and Brian. We always prod each other. Nothing ever is perceived as personal. We're just like that. We're just all three different people, but we just like to have fun. If you don't like the policy of pans come off at 9 o'clock, then I don't know what to tell you. Whose pants? Yours? Your children? Everybody? Like whose pants are you? I want you to keep your pants on. That's a visual I don't want, James. Quite frankly. So if I'm not in front of you at the checkout line, I should be really slow if I want to annoy you. Yes, and if you want to get your ass whipped, yeah, you could do that, James. If you want to get slapped upside your head, I'm gonna take some shaving cream and just slap you upside the head if you do that. Because like I swear
We'll
I'm
do
not an ass.
unicorn racing with you.
oh
You
yeah,
said
bring the
racing?
unicorn floaty. That would help. That would help the
Unicorn
whole
float.
situation.
What is a unicorn? Is
Yeah.
that like a smoker like
No, it's a
analogy?
floaty.
Unicorn.
Okay.
Blown up unicorns in a pool.
It's an inflatable thing that you put in the pool, dude.
I'm probably so heavy that I'll break one of those. I don't know how I will. I should get one of those older people like the wagons for the seniors that you ride around the store. I'm gonna get in one of those because I see so many 15 and 20-year-olds. Like if you don't get your ass off that as young as you are, riding around the damn store just because you like somebody needs that. A granny probably just slipped and hurt herself, and you got the damn cart. Like
You don't know what they need that for, though.
Yeah,
They could have a disability that's under borderline reason why they're using the thingy.
they got a disability, all right. They're assholes and dishonest. That's what their disability. Now maybe they do. You're probably right. James probably rides through through the. I could see him being a dick. Like I got money, I can do whatever I want. That's the type that James is.
No, James very genuine.
Hey,
he just has a very, very class clown defense mechanism.
Yeah.
I used to ride them when I was pregnant, and I used to do the beeper. When I was backing up, I used to go beep, beep, wide load, watch out.
That's fucking hilarious.
I've never used one.
I was huge.
I'm always afraid I'll run somebody over.
Were either one of you a pregnant petty? Were you a petty pregnant prego? Were either one of you a petty pregnant
If
person?
I didn't have my bath, yes.
I don't think I was petty in the sense of when I was pregnant. I think after I was pregnant, I was more petty.
How does
it was
that
after the hormones stabilized, like getting everything back to normal, then I got petty. Like, oh, you were so cool about all this shit before, and then all of a sudden I'm not pregnant anymore, and now you being an asshole. Like then my pettiness kicked in really hardcore. But during pregnancy, it wasn't that bad.
That's interesting. That's such a Taurus logic too. Like I'm an asshole after the fact. Like I took so much shit. Now I'm an asshole. That's such a Taurus explanation.
Yeah, it's like I tolerated enough. I'm going to horn your ass out of the door because you are pissing me off.
Watch out when a Taurus finally gets upset. It's not an easy task unless they got a lot of fire. If they got a lot of fire in their chart, they'll be a little more touch and go, but or air. But generally speaking, Tauruses are. But once they get mad, holy man, they're gonna tear the China shop up. Let's just say that they're gonna tear it up. Capricorns are very similar. Capricorns get the which is what James is. They get the notion of they're very like grumpy, and I can kind of see that they're very serious at times. But a lot of that has to do with where they're placed in the chart they're kind of like the age of retirement in the astrology order. They're like second to last zodiac sign. So a lot of that has to do with it. And their strong personalities. I have so much shit to accomplish. I don't have time for this bullshit type thing. But they're actually cool. Like they're actually once you get inside, it's a lot of like penetrating their inner circle. Capricorns are actually cool, but they kind of come off as assholes when you don't know them that well. Because my brother's a motherfucker. He's a Capricorn. He has a lot of Cap. He's got like his first 3 planets are in Capricorn, but he's a dick. But it's kind of like it's a charm. You kind of appreciate after a while that he's a dick or whatever. But,
Tired girl cuddling.
any final thoughts? Because we're gonna cut it at 8:30 or whatever.
I'll
Des,
let Tess go first. Yeah.
what's up?
Oh,
Yes, that sounds right, man. You want to do us a card reading to close out, Des, or what you want to do?
frozen. So if I fall out, I'm sorry.
If you what? I didn't pick up that. You said if you fall out, your phone's breaking up, or what's going on?
My phone is frozen. Like apps just froze on my phone. But
Okay, we can hear
yeah,
you.
thank you for the great conversation. And
Thank you.
you can't hear me?
No, we can
hear you. Yeah.
You can? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me up. And
No problem. You're welcome whenever. Sweet Pea as well. Sweet Pea was probably busy, but we'll get her when she's available. Gabs, what's going on? What you got? Have you been back in the fall with your readings since you? How long have you been back where you can get online?
I tried getting online last Sunday and this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are the 2 times I've been live. But it's because I also promised people that I would tell them who won the raffle. So that was kind of like my whole focus. I'm like, I gotta at least be able to speak for like 8 minutes and just tell the person who won. But yeah, no, I'm not doing Tuesdays anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed there's just a
lull.
My body can't handle it. It's too late at night. And the kids need me in the morning too early. At least my 2-year-old has been persistently waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So my body just can't handle being in that too late at night and trying to get everything back to normal. But I'm still doing Sundays at 7:30 in the morning, and of course our Wednesdays are back in operational, guys. So
yes, we are. Gabs is back in the building.
So our community circle with TJ and guests, if we have any guests that would like to pop on during a topic that is convenient for that.
You have to have a vagina though, except me. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. So those usually start at 6:30 Central Time at evening. And if you guys want to participate in any of the awesome things we do, subscribe.
Yep.
Or like us on any of our platforms that you see on our beautiful profiles. It helps out a lot because then we can show you how awesome and amazing you are as well as ourselves. Promoting people such as Des and James and even Tony and Christina XO over here and
Frida.
Like all these amazing people who have popped on. They all are beautiful, loving lights that may inspire you or may annoy the fuck out of you. And you're just like, I'm not going to watch them for a little bit longer. Just depends on what day you're having. You just got to find your niche. And we would love to continue having you here if you're enjoying our content. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you for supporting TJ in his endeavors. He is an amazing educator / entertainer, and it just helps. It helps so much to have people like him in the world. So if you can continually support this amazing man and anybody else that he happens to bring along the screen, I would be appreciative.
Gabby, I don't need your husband shooting me with you calling me an amazing man.
Hey, he knows he's amazing. His confidence level is high. We're good. He knows he's cool. But yeah, even Des, guys, if you guys watch any of her live feeds, she's amazing. She has amazing intuitive artwork. She also has an amazing daughter, Peyton. If you haven't noticed her on the screen, she does amazing artwork as well. And sometimes she takes over the screen from her mama. So you get to see all of her beautiful art as well. And I just do intuitive readings. I'm a deviation intuitive. So deviation usually just stands for somebody who uses tools to push through spirituality. So I use cards, I use pendulums, I use channeling, mediumship kind of things. I talk to your people that come say hello. That's kind of how it works. Your guides on the other side, if they want to have a conversation with me, I'm usually available. I'll let them through. If they need to talk to you, they're here. And so it's kind of one of those things. That's just how my mission is operating right now. This is my purpose. I'm here to make you feel comfortable with yourselves, as well as find your footing so you don't need a middleman. You can do your own work. Your destiny is in your hands. It has nothing to do with the cards or the tools that I use. You're responsible for your destiny, not me. I'm just here until you're comfortable enough to be doing your own shit. I'm literally the middleman or your bartender, in the spiritual sense of things. So if you're interested in anything I have to do, go to my page. It's at MSR live stream here on Haps. You can also go to www.facebook.com/MSRETC in all full caps. Or you can also go to our website for Melody of Spirit readings, etc. I'll write it in the chat because it's just way too long to even remotely spill out on here. I am working on trying to find a domain name that's cheap enough that's not going to kill me. But at the right now, that's kind of where it goes. We are so honored to have you guys here. You have no idea. The feedback you guys had here was amazing. Thank you, Brandy Singleton, for all your feedback, and Frida, Dr. D. I really enjoyed her commentary. That's some good stuff.
She's always great. Yeah. I'll be doing a lot of business with them in Ann Arbor. Every Tuesday, the Sunday Smoke Show. Come ahead, check us out. Gabs might have saw it, I'm not sure. But that's something we're starting on Tuesdays. Her constituents represent hard over there. I don't know if you know Information Man Gabs. He's awesome. He literally brought like 800 viewers to my page yesterday.
Holy crap.
It was like 800 people yesterday. It was insane. I was overwhelmed. Yeah. It was. We already had 1,200 views and counting. It's really crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So he's awesome. And of course, that's not female exclusive. You're welcome. I mean, there's going to be a lot of testosterone over there. But Gabs, she worked with M16s and AR, so that don't mean shit for her. She's with the shit. So.
I'm comfortable with masculinity. It's not that big of a deal. Masculinity, energy, and people who are comfortable in their feminine energy, it does not bother me at all. I respect your energy. I respect your comfortable little box that you currently reside in. If I break you out of your box, I do apologize. It's not intentional.
Yeah. She doesn't like to leave her box very often, if you haven't noticed that.
Only when it's necessary. Yes, I prefer to stay in my corner unless there's something that somebody needs to know.
Sounds awesome. I'll be in communications with Gabby throughout the rest of the week, trying to correlate topics over the next few weeks. I know Sweet Pea and the others wanted us to stick with the astrology readings and the charts.
I think that's a good way to start, just getting back to comfortability. Okay. And if you have any awesome topics that we've been dealing with, like for the last couple months, or two, I think we've been doing this for about 2 months now, right?
Yeah, sounds about right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. So if you have any more of those really cool ones, those ones are quite entertaining. I've noticed a lot of people really enjoy the randomosity of our topics. So
it's not a lot of male-female shows online like that structure like where there's no egos involved. Usually it's like the woman thinks she's not being heard or the guy's being a condescending dick. It's not none of that over here. So I think a large part of it. It also helps whenever you bring black people and white people together. It's quite controversial. So I think that's part of it too. I'm totally joking on that last part, but no. In all seriousness, like it's literally no ego. Like, and I think that's a big. If people see that between the two of us, and we just bring a lot of people together and discuss whatever. You know what I mean? So. That's what we bring, but we wouldn't be able to do that without any of our audience. So thank everybody, even the dickish humor from this Rob Cadre lookalike named James. hot tub time machine even brings the energy here. So thank you.
I enjoy that. Thank you so much for
love
the laughs. When I need a little moment to breathe from the seriousness, we got James' commentary over here.
Exactly. Dang, I'm coming to Big Rock soon, man. You better have some damn whiskey and some good cigars when I get down there, or whatever. So thank
He's
you,
right.
Gabby. Bless you and the family and the children, and good luck with the school stuff. And I'm sure we'll have more to discuss, as we always talk in some form. Either you'll stop in briefly or through text, or but as far as in this form, I'll see you next week, and
Absolutely.
be ready for some awesome discussion.
Yep, I'm ready for some normal stuff happening.
Not blowing into tissues and things like that.
Yeah, not coughing up a lung. Yeah, it's I'm glad that's over.
Absolutely. Thanks, Gabs. Have